Uh, it's been a while since I've taught a class here, and I want to thank everybody who stepped up and taught over the last few weeks when I was really sick. I'm really almost 100% better. And I just want you to notice that I am wearing this Indian dress and this jewelry, compliments of Somia and Praveen. And I don't normally wear big jewelry like this, but I'm going out on a limb because I'm teaching this Indian class and I wanted to thank them. But I also just love you all. And I love the beautiful, beautiful dresses and colors that you have in India. So anyway, today I'm going to talk to you about stress. But before I do, I wanted to do a few slides of an intro class because I know that we have guests on this class today. And as more people join, there's more guests that I know are coming. And so I want to give you just a little bit of an introduction. So let me go ahead and share my screen. We're just going to do a little intro at the beginning before we get into our specialty topic of stress. So Becky, will you man the chat? Will you handle the chat? And if any of you have questions or anything about as we go through this presentation, I hope that you'll just feel free to type in the chat. And then at the end, we can take more questions and talk about the questions in the chat. So right now, I just want to talk about essential oils, what they are, a little bit about how to use them. I know that essential oils have been around for a long time in India, and you guys have probably seen essential oils on your shelves and in shops and markets your whole entire life. It wasn't that way for me. Essential oils, I became introduced to essential oils when I learned about doTERRA. So just, 13 years ago. So I just want you to know that for those of us in the United States, many of us aren't as familiar as you are. However, the difference is in the purity of the oil. And when you don't have a pure oil and it has contaminants and fillers and things like that, you cannot have the efficacy on your body and for your health. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't smell nice or that they can't have any effect, but it's very important to have a pure oil. So let's just first talk about what an essential oil is. I don't know why it says welcome back on that slide, but welcome back, everyone. Let me put this into presenters mode also. Oh, there we go. Okay, so when we talk about essential oils, they come from plants and they come from all different parts of the plants. And depending on what part of the plant they come from, that kind of determines what we use them for and how they affect our bodies. And they're very, very different. They can come from the leaf, from the flower, from the stem, from the root, from the bark, from the petal. You see this magnified peppermint leaf. Well, who knew that underneath that peppermint leaf on the bottom were these little white sacs that were filled with the very potent and powerful essential oil of peppermint. So because they're made from plants, they resonate very well with our bodies. And we're able to use them. They're able to pass through the cell wall, some through the blood-brain barrier, but they're very powerful, but they're safe, and they don't have the side effects that cause dependency and addictions like so many synthetic products do. As you know, essential oils have been around for centuries. They really first began in Egypt, China, and India, but they were also very prevalent in Rome, Greece, and France, and some other countries as well. But your country was one of the ones that has had essential oils around for many, many centuries. And I just wanted to talk about this really briefly, because when it comes to your health, you have a choice. You can go with the modern approach or you can go with the natural approach. Now, natural means that we're going to address the body's need and go right to the root cause. We're going to use plants. They can be safe, as I mentioned, without side effects because they come from nature. Now, when they add fillers and synthetics and chemicals to those to nature, to those natural products, then we have synthetic drugs or synthetic products, and we have what's called the modern approach. And that's something that man produces and it does address the symptoms. Sometimes we need that. I mean, there were times when I was very, very sick that I used some synthetic products, and they did help me, but it was really the essential oils that are helping me to really get to the root cause and to really eliminate the worst things out of my body. Many times what we do is we use a synthetic product for something that we experience in life. I'll just give you an example of my own. I had severe seasonal allergies. And even though I say seasonal, I had them year round. They were just worse in the spring and the fall when the seasons changed. And so I was on 3 different medications for those allergies, and I took them every day. And as long as I took them, they didn't eliminate, but they decreased the symptoms that I experienced. But those symptoms never went away. In fact, year after year after year, they still got worse and worse and worse. And I had to add more medications. I had to do more. So we're going to talk to you about the modern approach, and that this can go to the root cause and really make a difference. Now, this is the last slide in the intro. Oh, whoops, sorry, this one. Just talking about 3 ways to use essential oils. We can use them aromatically, topically, and internally. Aromatically is going to be, we're going to inhale them in some way. They can help to open our airways. This really, really helped me, oils to open my airways. They can help purify and cleanse the air, and they can affect emotions. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this because we're going to be talking about stress, but aromatic use of the oils is the best way to affect the emotions. And Dr. Hill said one time, he said, we put these on topically and we forget to then inhale time and time and time again. Okay, so very, very important for emotional health. Using topically, you're just going to put it wherever you need it, you know, maybe on an upset stomach, maybe on a cut or a scrape. You're going to dilute the oils if you're using them for children, if you're spreading over a large area, if you're using them for sensitive skin, or if you just want the oils to go deeper into the tissue, because that's what a carrier oil does. Internally, we're very fortunate with doTERRA that we have pure essential oils that we can put in our water. We can put them in a capsule. We can put them under our tongue, and they're going to be able to benefit us from the inside out. Okay. Okay. You know what I realized I did? I shared the wrong screen. So I'm going to go out of this right now. I had these slides on my other presentation, but then I pulled up the intro class presentation instead of the stress presentation. So let me just share my slides again. This is kind of how the last 2 days have gone for me. Okay, so now we're going to talk about stress. And I'm going to tell some personal things. Becky, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, I can. You're fine.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so as we go through this, I want you to think about your own life, because one thing that I think everybody in the whole entire world has experienced, if they hadn't experienced it before the last year and a half, they've experienced now. We all experience stress at some level or another, right? And it's important to know how to manage stress in a healthy way. And as we go through this presentation, I want you to just look for one change that you can make in your life to lessen the stress that you feel. You're not going to be able to make all of these changes or do all of these things or apply all of these suggestions, but just try and make one change. So to begin with, I want everybody to type in the chat if you're feeling stressed today. And if you are, I want you to put it on a scale from 1 to 10. Now, can you be vulnerable? I'll be vulnerable here. Type if you are feeling stress and put like from 1 to 10. Okay, Annalise, 7 to 10. Okay. Imna Senla, 9 to 10. Suresh, 7. Oh, Michael, 1. Okay, I don't know what you're doing, but you're great. Okay, Daljeet, 8. 9. Look at these numbers. Coffee is the best. Lanula, 5. Okay, that's kind of really normal. It's normal to feel some stress. Yes, Michael, laughter is a good medicine. I agree with that. Coffee keeps the doctor away. Any others? Anybody else want to type in your stress level just to begin this class? Now your stress level is increasing. Okay, well, I appreciate that. I'm going to ask you to type in the chat a few times on this class. Okay, so let's just talk about what I'm going to go through in this class. I'm going to talk to you about stress and the difference between stress versus anxiety, because there's a difference and we often think they're exactly the same. Categories and causes of stress, how stress affects our bodies, symptoms of stress, dealing with stress, and then of course, essential oils that we can use for stress. So let's first talk about stress versus anxiety. If you look on the left, you can see that anxiety is internal, okay? It means that it's your reaction to stress, okay? So we can have all kinds of different stress in our life, and the way that you react to it can either help you get through it, or it can cause you really great anxiety, okay? It usually involves a persistent feeling of uneasiness or dread that doesn't go away. So it's something that keeps going on and on and on. Usually people that suffer from anxiety, it's common, they experience a lot of anxiety, and it really does interfere with how you live your life. And even though there might not be an immediate threat, it's still there all the time. You just feel this anxiety all the time, okay? Stress, on the other hand, is generally a response to an external cause. There's a specific reason that you're feeling it, such as interviewing for a new job or arguing with a friend. Okay, so think about that, interviewing for a new job. Okay, you can either, and we're going to talk about this more, but you can either really prepare, maybe practice interviewing with people, make sure you have your resume updated. You can think about what's expected. You can go and study and learn about the company so that you know how to, answer questions in that interview. Or you can just worry about it. You can still prepare, but you can worry and worry and worry and say, oh my goodness, I'm going to blow this. I really want this job. How am I going to get this? What am I going to do? That is anxiety. Okay. So we're just going to be talking about stress today. I'm not going to focus on anxiety, although if you can manage your stress in a healthy way, then what it does is it helps to relieve and even eliminate the anxiety that you feel. So the key is to manage the stress so that you don't have all of the anxiety. Now, again, I'm going to have anxiety sometimes. I have children and grandchildren and family members and work and illnesses and all kinds of things that we experience. And I'm going to go into more details about these. But if I can manage those and take care of myself in a healthy way, then I won't have the anxiety that is debilitating. Okay, so that's why we're focusing on stress. Now look at the middle section. Both of these can affect your mind and your body. Okay, you may experience symptoms such as excessive worry, apprehension, tension, headaches, or body or pain, high blood pressure, loss of sleep. Again, I have more slides on all of these things. So let's just talk a little bit about what stress is. Stress is the body's response to challenging feelings, situations, responsibilities, experiences, or threats. Okay, so what is stress? Stress is produced when events or responsibilities exceed your coping ability. You just get to the point where you just can't handle it anymore. It's a condition that challenges the homeostasis in our body. It can cause that fight or flight syndrome. What do you mean by that fight or flight syndrome? Sometimes we fight, meaning we go after it, we get busy, we take care of it, we handle it. Flight is we avoid it, we run away from it. A good example of that is someone's in an argument, they just run away. They don't want to talk through it or work through it. But it can be with anything. A flight syndrome means that we're not going to be able to handle whatever comes our way. So it's very, very important. Let's talk a little bit about the body, okay? So when we experience stress, you encounter a perceived threat such as loss of a job, a health issue, or any kind of a difficult situation. Your hypothalamus, which is a tiny region at the base of your brain, okay? It sets off this alarm system in your body. This all starts in our brain, okay? Through a combination of then nerve and hormonal signals, this system prompts adrenal glands, which are located right above your kidneys in your body. And then they release a surge of hormones, okay, including adrenaline and cortisol. And then that goes in and it affects your body in many, many ways. So in this image, it talks about how you can have increased heart rate, your blood pressure can increase. It affects your digestive system. Becky talked about that last week, how much stress affects your digestive system. All different things can start to go wrong and wreak havoc in your body when you experience this stress, but it is a physical thing and it does start in the brain. So it's very important. Here are some other symptoms of chronic stress. When we have chronic stress, it can increase our risk of chronic illness. It depletes our immune system. So it makes it so that we're more likely to get sick, to catch viruses, bacterial infections. Excuse me, we have a higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. It can, it can interrupt our sleep. It can cause us to not sleep peacefully. It can cause pain. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink of water. It can cause us anxiety, like I mentioned. So there are a lot of things that happen when we have chronic stress and when we don't handle it or manage it in a healthy way. Now, sometimes I just want to say we may be managing it or handling things in as healthy of a way as we know how. And we're still going to experience some stress. It's just part of life, right? There are a lot of things that we can do to reduce our stress level. Now, the only reason I showed this is to show you how vast the effect is on our body when we experience stress. It affects us physically, emotionally. It affects our behaviors, the way that we interact with people. It affects cognitive symptoms. It affects so many things. And you can take a screenshot of this. I'm not going to go through all of these, but there are so many bodily symptoms and emotional symptoms of stress. And it really does affect our lives. Okay, so again, I want you to type in the chat. Do you think that stress is good or bad? Okay, let's just see a few responses in the chat. Is stress good or bad? Okay, both, bad, both. Okay, both good and bad. Suresh says good and bad. Annalise, it helps me get a job done, but I don't like it. Bad, it's good when it's balanced. Okay, I love these. Okay, great. Isn't it interesting that we always think that stress is bad? Okay, so stress is not necessarily always bad. Oh, Becky, I didn't mute everybody. Can you mute people if they come on and have background noise? Stress is not necessarily bad, you guys. Sometimes it can be good. It just all depends on how we handle it. Stress can motivate us, like Annalise said. It can challenge us. It can help us to improve. It can help us to do better. Or it can also be detrimental and it can cause us a lot of difficulty. So stress occurs when we feel that pressure and it's greater than the resources we have to handle the stress. So let's turn stress into a positive thing. because it really can be a positive thing. I can remember, for example, when I was in school and I had to study for a test. Okay, I would feel stressed. Oh my goodness, I've got to do really well on this test. I want to get into this program. But what did it cause me to do? It caused me to study hard, to go to the discussion groups, to get help from the TA, to do my homework, to do the reading, to, it helped me to motivate myself to then do well so that I would do well on the test, so that I would succeed. So in that way, stress was a good thing because it was motivating to me. If we don't handle it in a healthy way, then it can be detrimental. But let's try and make it and turn it into a positive. So I just kind of like to talk about these small annoyances, okay? There's small annoyances, medium challenges, or serious situations. We're all going to have those small annoyances, all of us, every one of us, okay? So, let me go back here. Let me just give you an example. A small annoyance, this happened to me just this last week. I cut my finger, okay? When you cut your finger, you have to wear a Band-Aid and you just can't do what you normally do. Have you ever kind of been debilitated because you cut your finger? Well, that happened to me. And so every time I would go to do something with that finger, I would be like, oh man, I can't use that finger. I have to use other fingers. I have to use this hand. That's an example of a small annoyance, okay? Or maybe you're on hold with customer service and you have to hold for a long time. That's like a small annoyance. It's not going to affect your life forever, but it's a hassle. It's not great. We don't like those. Okay, a medium annoyance would be, okay, I cut my finger so bad that now I have to go to the hospital and get stitches, or else I'm going to have a huge scar and it's not going to close up. That can be like a medium annoyance. Okay, another example would be that you go and you show up to an appointment and somebody cancels on you at the last minute, right? Okay, again, that's not going to affect you long term, but that is like, I prepared, I showed up, I was here, and they didn't even bother to come. That's like a medium annoyance, okay? Or maybe you get a flat tire while you're driving your car. This happened to me this week too. It was another thing that happened. I had a divot from somebody doing construction in my tire, and I couldn't continue to drive it. And when I went to go get it fixed, they told me that you have to replace this tire because it's in a place where you can't just pull this out and fix it. It has to be replaced. That was a medium annoyance for me. I had to pay money. I had to spend an hour in the shop. That was a little bit worse. Okay, serious annoyances are like, you lost your job. Oh my goodness, you've got to find another source of income. You just found out that your spouse has, a long-term chronic illness. That can be really scary. Someone hit you and totaled your car. You have to go to insurance and you have to get it fixed, and you're going to be without a car for a while. And I mean, these are like more serious situations. So try to put things in perspective. In the United States, we say a term that don't sweat the small stuff. When things are small and little, just kind of let them go. We have to handle the medium challenges. And then, of course, we have to deal with the serious situations. But again, let's try and do things in a healthy way. Okay, so here's some examples of things that can be, mild, or they can be very, very serious. Maybe you have issues with a job, not having a job, or in your work environment. Maybe you have some kind of a major change in your life. Maybe you just had a baby. Maybe you just moved. Maybe you're going through a divorce. Whatever it is, those things can really cause major stress. Problem people in your life, people who just irritate you and annoy you, and family difficulties, that can be really stressful. Financial problems, health issues, living conditions, unfulfilled goals, comparing yourself. Any of these can cause mild or chronic stress depending on the seriousness of the situation, the difficulty, and also, of course, how we handle it.
But
Another thing that can happen with stress,
when stress,
okay, I don't know how I got muted, but
I did it.
another, okay, sorry. Another thing that can happen is we can get burnout when stress isn't handled in a healthy way, and we keep experiencing the same stress over and over and over again. We start to experience feelings of intense fatigue and disillusionment. And this can really cause us a lot of serious unhappiness and emotional unrest. And it can just cause us to just give up, to just get burned out, to just say, I'm done, you know. And we don't want to do that, you know, even to the more serious, it can lead to very, very serious people checking out. So let's talk about some healthy ways to deal with stress. Okay, I just want everybody to know that we all have a role, okay? Every one of us has a role in managing our stress. And then when we handle our stress in a healthy way, it affects the other people around us, the people we live with, the people we work with, the people we interact with. We all need to take responsibility for our own stress levels and managing those so that we can affect ourselves and others around us in the best way. So first, one thing that I want to just mention is just do a self-check. Like, how am I doing today? Think of what you've been doing so far and how it's made you feel. And maybe you're having a really terrible day. Maybe you're having a really good day, but just do self-checks. Take some time to evaluate. Yesterday was a really stressful day for me. It was the last day of the month here in the United States. And I had a lot of like fires to put out and a lot of things to deal with. And I was driving, actually drove over to the doTERRA center, the product center. And on the way back, I thought about this slide. And I thought, how am I doing? What am I doing? What do I need to do? And I came home and I took a break and I went out and worked in my yard for a little while. I have a tree, an apple tree, and the branches are hanging over my neighbor's yard and the apples are falling in his yard. So I took some time to cut those branches back so that he wasn't going to have all those apples fall in his yard. But it was just therapeutic for me to just stop my brain and do something different. So just do a self-check. How's your day going? If it's not going well, make some time in your schedule to do some things that will help you. And I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of different things that we can do. Another thing is really important, and you can do this in your journal. You can do it just in a little notebook, but it's really healthy to track the things that stress you, the things that trigger you, and how you handle them. If you sit down and you just take a notebook and you think about, what are my triggers? Okay, I have triggers. Everybody has triggers of things that start to elevate their stress level. So write those things down, and then we're going to talk about how to handle them. But make sure that you're aware of your triggers, of your stressors, the things that cause you to kind of go off the rail a little bit. Another thing, how important it is that it's so important that whenever you start to feel stress, that you have a strategy to cope with it. That's another thing. When you have when you write down those triggers and those stressors out to the right-hand side, and we're going to go through some of these, you can write down, okay, when I get in this situation and I feel this trigger, what can I do about it? What are some things that I can do to relieve that? And turn it into a positive, okay? And these are going to be different for everybody. My stressors, my triggers, the things that cause me stress are going to be way different than the things that cause my husband's stress, or Becky's stress or Larry's stress. We're all going to be just different, right? In the way that we handle this. Time management is really, really critical, you guys. If you don't manage your time will manage you, right? Planning things helps you to be in control. It helps you to be more productive and yet balanced, and it helps you to start your day out right. If yesterday I was talking to one of the leaders on this call, and it was really a stressful day for her. And I said to her, you've got to set your hours. There's a life coach here. She works with our upline big team. Her name's Tiffany. And one of the things that she really stresses is in doTERRA or any job or life, you have to set your hours. You have to set your hours for work. You have to set your hours for your family, for sleep, for rest, for relaxation. And then what happens if you set those hours and you don't go by them? You're not honoring yourself. You have to honor those hours that you set. So I would recommend that all of you set hours, set specific hours, and that then you honor those hours. Okay. So important. These 12 things, I wanted to show you these because I start my day every day with what I call my personal worship. It's time for me to read, to ponder, to meditate, to pray. And another thing I do personally is I make my bed, because when I make my bed, I feel like I'm just off to a good start. You know, I'm going. If I walk in the room and my bed isn't made and it's all messy, you know, then I just feel, I don't know, it's just me. It doesn't mean this is for you. This is just me. I like to, it just helps me to feel more put together. That's just a little thing that's important to me. But all of these things, you know, your morning routine, your meal times, are you drinking enough water, getting hydrated? Are you connecting with family and friends? Are you making time for fresh air, getting outside, getting that vitamin D, exercising, doing fun things that you just enjoy, being creative, you know, going to bed on time? These things are all important to put into your routine, taking care of yourself with your hygiene, getting enough sleep and rest. All of these things are important, and it's important to just create a routine. We know, and studies have shown, that children, they thrive when they have structure and a routine. When they don't have it, children become irritable, they don't do as well in school, they have digestive problems, there's all kinds of issues. You guys, it's the same with adults. It's the same with adults. You know, with our children, we always talk about, you know, put them to bed early so they'll be rested for school, you know, make sure that they have time to play when they come home from school, you know, I mean, all these different kinds of things are important, but they're important for us as adults. So as you do your time management and create your routine, make sure that you have all these important items into your routine. Here are some of the benefits that are of setting a daily and weekly routine, and it can be a monthly, yearly. It brings a sense of calm. It creates structure for us. It actually keeps our emotions and our body healthy. It helps to eliminate stress. Now, this is for me. This is important for me. I am a list maker, and I thrive with lists. So on my calendar every morning, I mean, I do this on my phone, but you can do it on a notebook. You can get a planner if you want to. I've done all of these different things, but because I have my phone with me all the time, my to-do list is on my phone. And I love it when I can look at that list and I can go, check, 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 check. This is not important for everybody, okay? My husband is not a list maker. He knows what he has to do during the day and he does it, but it's not important for him to cross things off. But if it is for you, then do that and then update the list. I love to go through and say, wow, I've done 8 things today. It helps me feel a sense of accomplishment. I've done these 8 things today and I have 2 more to do. I've got these 2 more to do. Okay, I'm going to do that one after dinner. I'm going to do that right now. And for me, it just helps to create structure. But again, all of these are optional. You have to figure out what works well for you. Add activities to your routine like I did yesterday. I'm so sorry. I still have some respiratory stuff and I'm talking a lot. So, but go outside, take a walk your dog, go out in your garden and do some work, pull some weeds, plant some flowers, you know, getting outside, go to the park, you know, is so healthy for us. Journaling, you guys, journaling is so good for us. Journaling really helps us to reflect on what happened to us during the day. We remember experiences that we don't want to forget. And we also, it gives us a chance to think about gratitude, to think about the abundance that we have in life and all of the positive things. I would encourage you to write down the things that you're grateful for every day. Now, this is not a strength of mine. Journaling is hard for me because I get so busy in my day that it's hard for me to sit down and take time to do this. But a couple of years ago, I started this new study thing, and it has a little space in there for journaling every day. And so instead of taking my journal, I just use that, and it's little. I only have to write a couple of sentences, but it's helped me to be in the habit of writing down those most important things that I don't want to forget, and to also write down things that I'm grateful for. Exercise, you guys, this is so important. And I know that it's been hard during the pandemic, but it's recommended that we exercise for at least 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. Okay, you can do whatever you want. I go walking and I walk with friends, and that's therapeutic for me. It's really, really important. But exercise bumps up the level of your endorphins, your endorphin productivity. It improves your mood. It also helps you to just kind of move past the past days' annoyances and irritations. I just can't say enough about exercise. So again, if you're not doing this, start little. Just take a 10-minute walk every day, go do something where you get out and you exercise, you move your body. Another thing that I've really come to appreciate, you guys, meditation for me used to only be for, like, I don't know, the Dalai Lama or somebody like that. I didn't grow up knowing about meditation. I called it, we called it more pondering. And I do pondering all the time, all day long. But meditation is different. When you sit and you choose something to focus on, and your mind might wander, but to come back to that focus, and you can choose what you're going to meditate on. It's up to you, but it's so healthy, and bring yourself back to that focus. Frankincense is a really great oil to use during meditation. Really, really fantastic. And one of the things that I've started doing, again, I wasn't doing this before, but recently a friend got me going to yoga once or twice a week. And during the yoga session, they do meditation. And it's so, so, so great. And I have my oil there. And I just have really come to really start loving meditation. And I leave this yoga session and this meditation feeling so relaxed and peaceful, and things are put in perspective, and things that are small, they're not blown up anymore. And so take some time for either pondering, meditation, to just reflect, right? Another thing, whether you're exercising or not, stretching is really, really, really important. If you're sitting in front of your computer all day, if you're standing for a long time, it's really important to stand up, stretch your legs, move around a little bit. Every night, I learned this last year from an exercise specialist. If you will stretch 5 minutes before you go to bed, you will sleep 10 times better. You'll sleep so much better. Just stretch your hip flexors, stretch your legs, really just do 5 minutes of stretching. You will be surprised how much better you will sleep. Okay, give or receive a hand or foot massage. There's lots of oils you can use. Wild orange. This is, Aromatouch is the massage blend. It relieves muscles. It's very relaxing. It soothes joints. It helps with inflammation. And there's been studies saying that just giving a 5-minute hand or foot massage can significantly lower your stress level. So grab your partner, grab your spouse, say, oh, would you just give me a 5-minute hand massage? Here's an oil. Or if you really want to be nice, give somebody a foot massage. That's just so, so, so nice, but very, very relaxing. Yes, Larry. Yeah, do that for Becky. And Becky for Larry too. It goes both ways, right? Again, I already mentioned this. Get outside in the fresh air. So, so, so important. Turn off your phone. Do something with other people. Really, really, really important. Another thing that I have learned recently that is so good is these breathing exercises. Okay. I even had to do these when I was sick. Okay. But in any situation when you just feel stressed, deep breathing is so important. Use the 4-7-8 breathing exercise. You breathe in through your nose and count to 4. Then you count to 7. You hold it while you count to 7. And then you exhale very slowly through your lips as you count to 8. And you do that over and over and over again. If you do that like, 3, 4, 5 times, you'll be surprised how much that will help to relax you. Another thing, just take a break, get up, do something different. I've already talked about this a little bit. So many of us are on our devices, our computers, our phones, our iPads, all day long. And it's important to get away from the screen time, to step away, to take a break, to get out of the norm, to do something a little bit different. Another thing, get adequate sleep. Make sure you have at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That is hard when you're under stress. And I know that sometimes you wake up in the night and then you can't go back to sleep and you wander around or you turn on your phone, which is the worst thing you can do. And, there's so many things that can disrupt sleep. So it's so important to manage your stress in a healthy way, but to give yourself the time. I'm gonna call somebody out on this. Suresh does our shipping, right? Guys, there have been times when he has been doing stuff with shipping at 3 o'clock in the morning. And, Suresh, you can type in the chat because I'm calling you out on this. And I'll look at my watch and I'll say, Suresh, go to sleep, and maybe he sleeps still 7 hours. I don't know. But just make sure that you usually we go to bed when it's dark, so that helps our whole body system. But anyway, just do things that are relaxing. Read a book, like I said, go for a walk your dog. And Serenity is just one oil. We're going to talk about many. Serenity is just one oil that is just very, very relaxing. It's one that I love. I also love Balance. Put it on the back of the neck, put it on the bottoms of the feet. And then Dr. Hill would say, and then inhale 10 times. If you fail to inhale, then you don't get the emotional benefit, okay? Do not fail to inhale. I should have put that on a slide. Eat a healthy diet, okay? This, Becky talked about this last week as well. So important to eat a diet low in sugar, low in processed foods, eliminate altogether or greatly diminish the caffeine and alcohol consumption, because all these things, eating a healthy diet also helps to promote sleep and reduce stress. Guys, drink herbal tea. It's a great thing. Put an essential oil in your tea. It can really, really help to just relax us. It's good for the health. It's just really, really, really good to drink herbal tea instead of, all the caffeinated drinks or, lots of alcohol. This is a big one, you guys. Delegate responsibilities. Don't try to do everything for everyone. Free up some of your time. Give people responsibilities. In your house, if you're the only one cleaning, if you're the only one cooking, if you're doing it all, you need to delegate responsibilities. Have your family pitch in and help. I'm really, really big on this. One time, I was given a big job. And when I was given a big job, the person who gave me this big job said to me, Suzanne, if you do not delegate, this will wipe you out, stress you out, and you'll hate it. If you can use other people's talents and delegate responsibilities, you are going to love this. And I found that to be true. And ever since, this is really, really important. When we have a big, just for an example, we have our whole family over. There's like 22 of us, 24 of us, but 2 are gone. 22 of us over for a big dinner or a meal, or we do something together. And there's a lot of food to prepare. And I have really, I've just started delegating. Will you please bring a salad? Will you bring the dessert? Will you bring this? Will you bring that? just make sure that you delegate. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's so, so, so important. Okay, seek social support. Get out, reach out to people, be with friends. Don't try to just do everything on your own. It's okay to talk to people about the things you're stressed about. Don't try to go it alone, you know, or do everything alone. Have someone there that can listen to you, that you really trust, and that will lift you up and encourage you. It doesn't mean that whatever you're stressed about is gonna, you know, that it's gonna go away, but at least you'll have some support. And it helps to vent sometimes. It helps to talk about things. It's very, very, very therapeutic. This is very important, you guys, to think positive thoughts. One of the things that I taught my children was about GIGO. It's called garbage in, garbage out. Positive thinking in, positive thinking out. If you put garbage in your mind, negativity, criticism, anger, you know, just always looking for the bad, the cup is always half empty, looking at all the things that are wrong, that's what's going to come out in your life. That's the way that people are going to see you. If you think positive thoughts of encouragement, happy, motivating, optimistic, strong, think of the good things about people, not just the negative about them. What are they good at? What do they bring out in you that helps you? It is so much more lifting and positive. Sometimes I can get in these negative thought patterns. I think we all can, right? When a lot of things are going wrong, it's easy to just focus on the negative, but it doesn't do us any good. Try to change those negative thinkings, the garbage in, garbage out, to clean thoughts, to positive thoughts in, and then that's what will come out. So, so, so important. Okay, this next one, guys, we're going to start going through some oils for our stress. Now, I'm not covering all of them. Well, I'm going to list maybe all of them, but I'm going to focus on ones that have helped me, that have helped the largest amount of people. These two oils are essential oils that calm. If you're feeling that anxiety, that stress, put some balance on your feet, put serenity on the back of your neck, but don't fail to inhale. When you're all done, take your hands, cup it over your mouth, and breathe that in like 10 times. Just breathe it in, get it into your brain, okay? Both of these oils, balance is the grounding blend. It helps you to feel grounded, helps you to feel in control. Serenity helps you to just feel calm and renewed. It can help to relax, to help you have a restful night's sleep. Really, 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 really important. Adaptive is one of the most powerful oils for stress. It can help both uplift and it can help to calm. It can calm and support us in stressful situations with those. It can help emotional balance. It just helps us to adapt. Really, really, really important for this. Feel free, anybody can take screenshots. These are oils that uplift, okay, that lift us up when we're feeling down. A lot of times stress can cause us to feel depressed. And so these are oils that you're going to turn to lift your mood. Any citrus oils, okay, and I have another slide on that. But Joyful Blend, the elevation, creates this uplifting and energetic environment. Citrus Bliss is invigorating, okay, along with all of these oils. All of these oils are great for stress, okay? They have calming properties that help soothe tension and nerves. All of these oils can encourage relaxation. Melissa, Aromatouch, that massage blend that I was telling you about, Elevation that I mentioned already, the Joyful Blend, Ylang Ylang, Roman Chamomile, Vetiver, all of these, you guys. Melissa is not an oil that I have used very much. It is expensive. It's very expensive. And it's just not one that has been on my radar a lot because it's often associated with people who have chronic depression. Well, I am telling you, through this illness, this oil saved my life. And I didn't even, my upline, Natalie Goddard, she said to me, Suzanne, are you using Melissa? And I was like, no, I don't even know if I have Melissa. And luckily I did have a bottle of Melissa, a whole full bottle. Oh my goodness, you guys, it changed my life. It helped me. It lifted me out of some depression. It really, really helped me a ton. Melissa is the highest antiviral oil that exists. Now, another oil that's very antiviral, just to teach you this, is black pepper. It's called the poor man's Melissa, because if you can't afford Melissa, it's like $100. I would save your points and get Melissa, because when you need a little boost, you just take a drop and put it on the roof of your mouth. Oh my goodness, it can really help you when you need to be lifted up. But anyway, all of these oils are really, really great. These are just known. Lavender is the most widely used oil in the whole entire world. Okay, it has calming and relaxing properties. It's very gentle. A lot of times we go straight to serenity, but don't discount lavender. Lavender is just so powerful. It's gentle. It's great for children, but it's very, very, very calming. Now, lavender is in serenity, and I think sometimes that's why we discount lavender, but it's powerful for emotional health. Copaiba has very similar chemical properties to frankincense. Again, half the price. Really, really good because it helps to soothe and support the nervous system. It's one of my favorite oils. I mean, I love frankincense. I use it every day, but I also use copaiba every single day. It's powerful. And then, of course, we have past tense. It's our tension blend. It really helps to relieve stress. It helps to calm us. It helps to release tension. You guys, I'm really kind of sad about this because for a long time it came in a roller bottle. And because of the FDA, doTERRA had to take it out of the roller bottle and had to put it in a child-safe bottle. So it doesn't come in a roller bottle anymore. It may in other markets, but in the US, if you order past tense, you're going to get it in a 15 milliliter bottle with a child-proof cap. But I hope that in Malaysia, I think it's still in the roller bottle. I know in the Philippines it is. So, but anyway, it's a great, great, great oil. I was surprised, Becky, because I went to the product center to pick it up. And I was like, what's this? I want the roller bottle. And they're like, we don't make it in the roller bottle anymore. So in the US. Citrus oils, you guys, you can't use these enough in your water. Lemon, wild orange, tangerine, grapefruit, lime. Put these in your water. It will uplift your mood. Bergamot is very calming. Just every time you put water in your water bottle, put a couple drops of a citrus oil in your water bottle. And it just helps you to just feel better. Okay. Emotional oils. I cannot say enough about these, you guys. They come in both the touch roll-ons, or you can just get the oils that aren't diluted. I love the touch. They, again, remember, diluting doesn't make them less effective. It helps them to go deeper into the tissue. But these blends can help you let go of burdens. They can let you, look at forgive. It helps you to give up, those grudges that you're holding, maybe the anger that you have for someone. It helps you feel peaceful. They can console you. Console became my #1 oil when my parents passed away. I used that oil for a couple months every day. Motivate, passion. These are beautiful, beautiful oils that can really help with our stress. Okay, really, really, really important. This is a great stress relief roller blend. Get a roller bottle. Okay, we have offered you these in the past, but you can just order these on Amazon or your other sources. Put in 8 drops of adaptive copaiba and balance. You guys, this is a wonderful, wonderful stress relief roller blend, and then fill up the bottle with fractionated coconut oil. You're going to love it. You're going to really, really love it. You can take a screenshot of these. These are other essential oils just by properties: calming, energizing, grounding oils. Grounding, you want to just feel in control. You want to feel grounded, not spacey, not flighty, not just going by your emotions, but really feeling grounded. Maybe you're just not having a lot of energy and you need to, have that energizing feeling. All of these are really, really good for that. And, you could probably come up with more calming oils. All of these on the left are very, very, very calming oils. And then there's more, oils that are refreshing, that help your home feel refreshed and help you to feel refreshed. Maybe some of these you can put in your water, you can diffuse them to help your home feel more refreshed. Oils that are relaxing. Look at this big long list. Okay, there's more, and I've even talked about more than that. Oils that are uplifting. Okay, we've talked about these, many of these as well, but not all of these on this list. Really, really, really important. Okay. Just really quickly, when you're applying essential oils for the benefits, massage into the base of the skull and the top of the spine. You guys, you can all feel that bone that is at the top of your spine. Every one of you can feel that, and you can usually reach down about 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches. If you have really long arms, you might be able to reach down 6 or 8 inches, but I can only reach down about 4. Those are great places to put the oils for emotional benefits. Put on the inside of the elbow, diffuse the oils, apply to the drop to the palm of your hands and inhale. Put them on your wrists. I like to also put them on the temples. You can carry the aroma with you. But find out what works for you. When I first started using essential oils, I was super overwhelmed. I was like, what am I going to do? Well, I had the Home Essentials kit. And so I just started by using the oils that were in the Home Essentials kit. And thank goodness that Balance and Serenity were in that kit. So when you just buy a Family Essentials kit, you don't have some of those extra oils that are kind of specialty oils, okay? But I want to encourage you to experiment. And something that works for me is going to be completely different than something that works for my husband or my daughter, because our chemical makeup is so different. Practice other healthy habits that we've talked about. Seek for extra help. Don't try to do it by yourself, and educate yourself, okay? Okay, you guys, let's just look in the chat. Becky, are there any questions or anything that we need to discuss in the chat before? Oh, sorry, I have another slide here that I wanna just talk about. Try to avoid the stressors and the triggers, okay, that upset you, okay? Try to avoid those. If you can't avoid them, alter them, change them. See if you can minimize them a little bit, alter them. Doesn't mean you're going to take them away, but just alter them a little bit and alter the way that you respond to them, okay? Adapt. Try to adapt to things that you can't change. Sometimes there's things that we can't change that we try to change. It might be a person. We try to change a person. We're really good at doing that with our spouse. We want our spouse to change. You cannot change another person, right? We can only change ourselves, and we can adapt to the way that we respond to that person, okay? So try to adapt, okay? And then sometimes just try to accept it. Sometimes this is the only way to cope. You can't change it. You can't really adapt it. You can't avoid it. So just try to accept it. You can express your feelings. You can forgive, but stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Okay, that's really, really, really important. Okay, I did want to share that. Okay, is there anything, Becky? Are you muted?
No, I'm not muted.
Okay, is there anything that you want to talk about that anybody brought up in the chat?
Annalise, I wasn't quite sure what you were asking when you said, why is that? So I wasn't sure what that question was specifically. If you wanted to elaborate for us on that one, I can unmute you. The other comments about different oils that they like to use and stuff like that. What was your question, Annalise?
Suzanne had mentioned that the past tense was now in child safety bottles. So why was that?
I think because I don't have the past tense right in front of me, and I don't have all of the ingredients memorized, But I think they put a childproof cap on it because it's got one oil in it that if it were to be ingested by a child, it could be dangerous.
I have,
So I think that's,
you want me to read it?
yeah, look at it.
It's wintergreen probably, because wintergreen comes.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wintergreen. And that's why deep blue also comes with a childproof cap because of the wintergreen. So yeah, it's the wintergreen. Yeah. Anything else, Becky, that you want to bring up or that you want to mention? Oh, you said you use Melissa every day in a body spray with balance. Wow, that sounds wonderful. Balance and spearmint.
I have like a spray bottle, and I put like 20 drops of spearmint, 10 drops of Melissa, and 10 drops of balance, and the rest was just water. And after you shower, I just love to spray it on. It just really wakes up my skin, and I just feel, the balance just really helps me set off my day. And the Melissa, I know, helps with the stress and the hormones. I think I'm going to add adaptive to it. I think that will be really nice. But I love the spearmint in there too, because it just feel like you're really just awake and fresh, and it's wonderful. So a body spray for after the shower. Make your own body sprays instead of buying that crappy stuff.
A picture of that. I'm going to make that today. I love that. I love that. Okay, if nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and talk about our promotions
Go ahead and stop
for
the
this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.